Don't forget to go to asskicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products.
Jessie, Vargas, what's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? It's always a pleasure being on Dontaesboxingnation. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? So Jessie Vargas just went completely in on Keith Thurman for rejecting a fight against Jessie Vargas for his return bout. Now, Jessie Vargas, he had a lot to say, but basically to sum it up, he basically said that, he was told that there was talks that the fight was going to be made. He said, there was nothing getting in the way of the fight being made, being the fact that they're both with Al Heyman. So he said the fight, it was an easy fight to, basically make. And then he said, but Keith Thurman basically says something like, that's too tough of a fight for my first fight back. And then Jessie Vargas, he said, well, once you become a champion, there is no such thing as basically fighting easy fights until you feel you're ready. What Jessie Vargas basically said is, if you don't feel you're ready to fight everyone, then you should give up the belt. And then when you feel that you're ready to fight on the championship level, that's when you should go back and fight for the belt. He used Floyd Mayweather as an example. He said, I believe Floyd Mayweather did something similar to that. Floyd Mayweather, but we know Floyd Mayweather, he retired. And then he came back and he fought who was pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, top 3, Juan Manuel Marquez. But Jessie Vargas, he had a lot to say about the situation. Once again, he also brought up the fact that, Keith Thurman was asked a while ago if he would be interested in facing Jessie Vargas. And Keith Thurman said, yeah, I'd be interested in taking that fight. Jessie Vargas would be a tune-up bout. This is what Jessie Vargas is saying that Keith Thurman said. So this is when Jessie Vargas, he said, okay, well, if he sees me as a tune-up bout, as long as he takes the fight, that's good. As long as he takes the fight and he thinks that I'm a tune-up bout, then that's a good thing. But of course, Keith Thurman, he didn't take the fight. And this is something that we talked about on the show. I said it could be very possible that some people in Keith Thurman's camp and some people closest to him, they're telling Keith Thurman, you sure you want to take a fight that tough in your first fight back, Keith? That might be a very, very tough fight. And they're right. That would be a tough fight. But to Jessie Vargas' point, Jessie Vargas is saying that Keith Thurman, if you are considered a champion, there is no such thing as I can't take an opponent that's too tough. Because when you're considered to be the champion of the world, that means you're the best fighter in the world at that present time. Not when you don't feel that it's time for you to face the best competition. This is basically what Jessie Vargas was saying about this situation. It's unfortunate that we didn't get, or we're not going to get, Thurman versus Vargas. That would have been a great fight. It'll be really interesting to see who Keith Thurman fights. I mean, I know he showed interest in facing Devin Alexander, who just returned. He just recently was successful in his first comeback fight. So we'll see what happens. We'll see who Keith Thurman fights in his next fight. And it'll really be interesting to see who he fights towards the end of the year. He already said it won't be Errol Spence, so it'll be interesting to see who he fights. I mean, Errol Spence has been calling out Keith Thurman just as much as Keith Thurman has been saying he's not making Errol Spence his priority right now. That's pretty much what he said. He said that Errol Spence is not on his to-do list right now, and the fight won't happen to probably 2019. So with him saying that, don't be surprised if we get Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter. It'll be interesting to see if Danny Garcia takes that fight, because I know Keith Thurman would love a rematch with Danny Garcia as well. Or do we get Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia? It'll be some interesting fights by the end of 2018. This interview that Jessie Vargas he did today, it was with Fight Hype, so you guys could check out the full interview on Fight Hype's channel. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.